Let me know down below, what new mode do you want to see in Cold War Zombies? GREIF, custom mutations, turned? Let me see those ideas, because in today's video, we're going to talk about some leaked game modes coming to Zombies very soon. We're less than 100 subs away from 78k, so if you guys are new and would like to subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. Let's try to go for 1,000 likes on the video as well. You have to admit, in terms of different ways to play zombies, Cold War is doing pretty well in that department. You have the round-based maps, you have Outbreak, which is pretty much zombies with specific objectives to do. Onslaught, a different way to play zombies on the multiplayer maps. Onslaught Containment's really fun as well. Cranked, which is a limited time mode, but they brought it back again, and I feel like it's going to stay here for a bit longer. Zombies at a super fast pace. Really cool stuff here. I'm not going to include Jingle Hells because it didn't really change the gameplay system too much, and it's definitely not returning, but overall, Cold War is giving us some good variety in terms of zombies content. Whether or not you like these other modes or not, you have to admit they're giving us variety. But as zombie players, we want more. We always want more. That's just how it is. And in the pre-alpha of Cold War Zombies, there were a bunch of different zombie game modes that were present in that menu that weren't there at launch and are not in the game right now. It's a common theme with Cold War Zombies and a lot of past Call of Duty games. We talked about it on the channel. Back in September 2020, there were Tier 4 and Tier 5 upgrades in the pre-alpha version of the game. They were removed at launch and added to the game at a later date just a couple of months ago. I can't say why exactly that happened. Maybe they needed more time to work on them, to fine-tune them. Maybe they just wanted to release it as DLC. It doesn't really matter. The point is, this could also happen with the leaked game modes that we had in Cold War Zombies. Now, in this instance, we had Rush, TCM, which is Treyarch Custom Mutations, and Gauntlets on that leaked menu. We're also going to talk about GREIF, Turned, and a bunch of other game modes we could see as well based on old leaks and evidence. But let's go through this here. Links are down below to the images. Can't show them up on screen. These are leaked images. First thing here, Rush. Rush is from Black Ops 4 Zombies. 4 players compete against each other in order to obtain the most amount of points by the end of the game. Players are forced to stay in certain areas of the map to gain more points, multipliers, etc. Now, I only played a couple games of this mode back in BO4 Zombies, but overall, it was pretty fun. This mode could easily fit with the vibe of Cold War, in my opinion, and they could probably even combine it with Cranked, maybe, to make some type of insane mode where you're not only going for the most amount of points in the game, but you're also fighting to kill zombies as fast as possible to stay alive. They could do a lot of cool stuff here. And overall, Rush, not a bad game mode at all. Let me know down below if you guys did play BO4 Zombies. How would you feel about Rush being added to this game? Would you want them to update it? The original plans were to have Rush and Cold War. Clearly, they are leaked images in the pre-alpha file, so they could easily bring this right into the game. It's developed. It's just a matter of when they release it or not, or if they fully scrap it in the game. But I definitely want to see this here. I would rather Treyarch just give us more content instead of scrapping all of these different modes and features and perks. Just give us more stuff. Maybe Rush isn't going to be the most popular mode in Cold War Zombies, but why not? If it's already developed and a bunch of people would actually play and it would add a little bit more of a variety to the game, I don't think it's going to hurt the game at all. But let me know your opinions on that down below. Next mode here that was leaked, Gauntlets. Now, the description here for Gauntlets back in BO4, gather your crew and face the gauntlet. Based on classic mode, each gauntlet features 30 rounds of challenges with different rules each round. Medals and special rewards are earned at rounds 10, 20, and 30. If your crew fails to complete a round as instructed, you will get a strike. 3 strikes and it's game over. New gauntlets will be released periodically with all new challenges, and all gauntlet matches are timed, so get out there and get some records. So really, really cool stuff here. Gauntlets were actually probably one of the coolest features we had out of Black Ops 4 Zombies. Again, I didn't play much of BO4 at all. I was playing PUBG. I was just playing other games. I really wasn't even playing Call of Duty, but I wish I played some gauntlets here because overall, it seemed really fun. When a new map would come out, we would get a new gauntlet. We would have all different challenges. It was actually a fun thing to do. And I don't know about the world record side of things, but I think people really were competing to get the fastest, best time, to get a flawless gauntlet record on all of the maps and all of that cool stuff. It would be sick to see it on Cold War. Again, let me know down below. Did you play Gauntlets? Would you rather see Gauntlets over Rush or over other game modes? I think this would be a pretty sick one on the Cold War maps. They could bring it to the Onslaught maps as well, the multiplayer maps, maybe even on Outbreak. That could make more sense too, completing the objectives in a certain amount of time, getting to Outbreak round 10 without failing any of the objectives, different challenges added on top of the objectives. Like, they could do a lot of cool stuff with Gauntlets here, change it to fit Cold War zombies in a new way. We also had Treyarch custom mutations for Cold War zombies, but before we go through what that is, if you don't remember, normal custom mutations back from BO4 zombies, pretty much it's where you can change almost every aspect of zombies in the settings of the game. Before you started, you can change what round you started at, what weapons and points you started at, the limitations on perks, pack-a-punch, mystery box in the game, the health and speed of the zombies, increased or decreased damage you do to the zombies. Just so many different things you can change in this game. It was really, really cool. And for Treyarch custom mutations, it was a mode that never actually released, but pretty much here we have a description. TCMs are official Treyarch-made sets of custom mutations created for specific zombie maps. Player and weapon progression, challenges, and all other rewards are enabled in this mode. New TCMs are released by Treyarch on a regular basis, but both current and previous TCMs are available for play at any time. So what they could do here, and what the plan was for BO4, what they could easily do with Cold War, is that they have weekly Treyarch custom mutations with set rules, set challenges, and there would also be weekly rewards that you would get for completing all of these different things. If Treyarch releases some crazy difficult TCM for the week and the reward is, 200 COD points, even though it's not a lot of people would be going for that. Or if it's just XP or different XP multipliers like double XP tokens or maybe prestige keys if it's a really crazy one. Like they could do a lot of cool stuff here with TCMs and Cold War. And Cold War Zombies has this grind factor that a lot of games don't really have, in my opinion. It's just a lot more enjoyable to grind zombies in this game for some reason. So to have TCMs on top of that in this game especially would be really sick in my opinion. And again, it was planned for this game. They haven't developed clearly. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I wish I knew. But Treyarch, if you're watching this, a lot of these modes here would be pretty cool. I'm not saying this is going to change Cold War Zombies forever, and these modes aren't going to make Cold War Zombies the greatest game ever, but a little more variety in the content would be pretty cool. I'm not going to turn down new modes for Cold War Zombies. I'm not going to turn down new maps as well. You know what I mean? It's just how I think. So I would definitely love to see this added to the game. Now, GREIF is an interesting one. I'm surprised we haven't seen this mode since Black Ops 2 Zombies. I mean, we really should have seen it in Black Ops 3. That was a perfect time to have GREIF as a mode in that game. I mean, BO3 Zombies, we barely had any other modes. The maps were really fun, but it's just surprising we didn't see other types of modes, and especially BO3 Zombies. But now we're at Cold War, and this is just where we're at, and it still would be really, really fun in this game, especially now that we have 12v12 modes, Fire Team with like 64 players, I'm pretty sure, Warzone's 150 players. There aren't as many limitations now as there were before with these types of really big modes on bigger maps, and we could easily see an 8v8, 16v16 GREIF mode instead of the classic 4v4. COD Zombies HQ made a video talking about this a couple months ago. Many others in the community have expressed their opinions on GREIF in Cold War. I think overall, most people want to see it. I don't think there's anyone that really says like, oh, we cannot see GREIF. Maybe GREIF isn't your most favorite game mode of all time, but I don't think it would hurt adding GREIF to the game. I think overall it would be a pretty fun thing to see. And I think for most people, if you ask them what is one mode you want to see return in Cold War Zombies, most of them would say GREIF. It's the most popular mode. I think overall it would be a pretty good addition to this game. Now, in COD Zombies HQ's video, he talked about how there is a general framework for a bunch of these modes in the custom game's offline settings in Zombies. It's really weird. So Treyarch gives you the option to save the custom game under a certain name. You could give it a description. You could change the mode. There aren't many modes in this game right now. There are a couple. Here we have round base selected. Author is really interesting. Why would you need to actually specify who is making this mode? Only if you're going to showcase it to other players. The framework is here for authors' names to be shown, and once you're in this list, you could choose other custom game modes or custom mutations from other people in the Zombies community. Right now, clearly there's no way to share your custom game modes or anything like that in Cold War settings. Really funny because it says general, round cap 20 rounds, but there aren't any other settings you could really change. It's either endless or 20 rounds. Like, there's nothing else you could do there. Restrictions, default. There's nothing else you can really restrict in this game as well. So again, the framework is here for the custom mutations and the different custom game modes that people can create, but there aren't any other features in this game right now. So it's really funny here. We could definitely see this updated with a bunch of those Black Ops 4 features we talked about before in their version of custom mutations. Now, there's also been something that people have been seeing in Cold War Zombies. A custom games menu pops up here, and you see a bunch of really weird stuff. So for one, let's read this here. It says, for the first time ever, you have the power to create your own custom zombies game modes. Whether tweaking the classic rule set or trying something reckless and deranged, use the rule settings to mutate your very own version of zombies. And then there's an image here of what looks like to be the premise characters, and it kind of looks like they're on Blood of the Dead, or at least one of the Black Ops 4 zombie maps. So super weird here. Again, this most likely ties into what we saw earlier with a bunch of the game modes being seen in the pre-alpha version of the zombies menu in Cold War, but not actually being in the game. This time around, this glitch is actually being seen in game. That wasn't a leaked image or video I just showed you guys. That is something that people have been seeing. If you go into zombies, and sometimes if you go into a private match or offline custom games, you'll get this pop-up here. Really crazy stuff here. Most likely reused assets from BO4. The image here, obviously the premise characters, probably not going to be in Cold War Zombies. If anything, we'll get the Eddie operator, but the Eddie operator is going to be a different guy than what we saw with Richtofen in the Ether storyline. So he's going to look different, at least slightly different, definitely going to be by a different voice actor. And again, we're not going to see the rest of the premise crew here as well. And again, the image just looks like a Black Ops 4 Zombies image. So crazy how this type of stuff actually pops up in the game. But it does go to show that either, again, there are a lot of different old reused assets that are just in the game to create other stuff, or also, like we said before, a lot of these game modes, a lot of the framework was in Cold War to be released for these other game modes such as custom mutations and Rush and Gauntlets, but never actually fully, released in the game and never actually fully put out to us. Obviously, again, a lot of crazy stuff here. I hope we get all of this stuff very soon. Hopefully, they don't scrap everything. They could easily scrap everything. I really hope they don't do that. I think a lot of us would enjoy these different game modes, custom mutations, Treyarch custom mutations, the weekly challenges, everything that goes along with that. GREIF. It would add some good variety to zombies, and I don't think it would hurt at all to add a bunch of this to the game. So let me know down below your opinions on that. There are 2 videos up on screen that may interest you, so be sure to check one of them out. Really appreciate it, guys. Shout out to the YouTube channel members. As always, leave a comment down below zombies if you watch the entire video. It is greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.